And we are in
my goodness. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Welcome back to Jim into Crypto, episode 64.
64.
I am King.
And I'm Bitcoin Zay. And we are here to bridge the gap between the cryptocurrency and the community.
We are going to get that so smooth one day. All right.
Probably never.
Probably never. There's a good chance we won't. A lot going on today, people. A lot of news. We had a couple of slow days. A lot of news coming in finally as the weekend gears up. It's funny how that always happens. Closer to the weekend, the more news come out. You got to make sure you keep an eye out.
Oh, yeah.
But before we start, free Bitcoin.
Oh, yeah.
What's going on? Hey, yeah, what's going on, Tony? Yeah, we beat everybody there. Yeah, we did start like a minute early.
So we said 10-ish.
Yeah, there we go, 10-ish.
9:58.
Listen, sometimes we go over, sometimes we're under. 10-ish. What's going on, Ray? How you doing?
What's going on, Ray? For the free Bitcoin yesterday.
What's going on?
The
Ariel.
What's going on, Ariel? Hey, Brianna, how you doing?
Here we go. Bitcoin J, Sumitra. Hello, hello, hello.
Welcome to everybody. Yesterday's topic was if you were to get paid in Bitcoin with your salary if you had a job, how much or what percentage would you use to get paid? And I know some people were like 100% all in, give me straight Bitcoin. But actually, the winner was Dominique Beal. Dominique Beal is actually, her comment actually was more conservative, which I like, because she said she would only use 3 to 4% as she gains more knowledge in the crypto space, which is great because there are a lot of people who are going headfirst into crypto. They have no clue. They don't even know what they're buying. If you ask them anything except what's in the tagline on the website, they have no clue.
Alex?
So I like the fact that she said, if I got paid in Bitcoin, small percentage so I know exactly what I'm doing. So, you know, great. Let's see.
Oh yeah, we're almost there. Thanks,
yeah.
Tell your friends.
Yeah, oh yeah, most def. So yeah.
So how much you say? 30, 40 you said?
3 to 4.
3 to 4%. 3 to 4%.
4%.
Okay, that's fair.
Yeah. So
and because they, like you said, you want to learn first. Yeah, I agree with that.
Yep.
Yeah.
And I definitely think that's important for new people coming in. Take a deep breath. You haven't missed anything. Like you said, this is like long-term stuff and learn what you're doing. So
yeah,
shout out to Dominique Bill. We'll be sending that free Bitcoin to you.
Send you that couple bucks. You know how it is, people.
Oh yeah.
All right, good stuff. Now let's get on to the news because a lot of stuff going on. We make sure we hit a bunch of things because that affects the market in so many ways. Bring this up. First is the net neutrality votes today.
Yeah.
Net neutrality is happening. Maybe it is, maybe it isn't. There's positive, negatives on each. What's going on, Sinai? How you doing?
Oh yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. Like, what do you think? What do you think is gonna happen first, Mo?
Well, they already, discussed the prices that they would, that the different. First let's describe what net neutrality is for people who don't know. Net neutrality, the vote is based on the fact whether you will be able to use the internet freely or will you have to pay monthly for different services like Google, Twitter, YouTube, things of that nature. So if they repeal the vote, then you'll be paying, and if they approve it, then you'll be good. But that's the fight right now because centralization versus decentralization, like we've always said, is the fight. So being able to have, we have a centralized, internet now. I don't want to make it even more centralized, which is, going in the opposite direction. So in my opinion, I think, net neutrality will be something that's almost as important as any Bitcoin news that we have as well. So
Smitty said he ain't paying. But the good thing, I mean, all this stuff is happening at the same time for a reason. More people are figuring out how to use decentralized servers, nodes. I'm learning new stuff that I didn't know when it comes to computer engineering. I'm sure other people are as well. So, the whole, like I said, the whole decentralized way of doing things, as well as, what's the word I'm looking for? I don't know. It won't be a big deal in a couple years. Yeah. Decentralized platforms as well. That's what I'm thinking about. Decentralized internet and platforms. Thank you.
Oh yeah, that's coming. Decentralized internet is coming.
It's coming. So it's one of those things where the worst case scenario, they got a couple years. They got a couple years to get as much money as they can from the civilians before it's flipped again on their head, and people are like, we can do this on our own. Thank you. So it's not too bad. Federal Reserve Chair though, Janet Yellen. What is she saying?
Oh yeah. Well, yesterday, if you tuned in, it was at 2:30. I think East Coast time. Janet Yellen, who is the Fed chair or was the Fed chair, this was her last, conference that she would have ever. And somebody asked her about the digital currency and cryptocurrency space, and she made it very clear. She's like, there's a difference between digital currency. There's a difference between cryptocurrency. And she said, essentially, the U.S. banking system is so large, we don't even really, we basically disregard it. We have no way to regulate it. So in a way, that's good news. It was kind of like it wasn't, you know, definite like, oh yeah, we have nothing to do with Bitcoin.
Right.
But it also wasn't, you know, oh yeah, we're definitely shutting that down. So, you know, it's the whole space is still gray. You know, it's still kind of
And see, that's the problem I have. The fact, no, I'm okay. The space is great. I'd rather them just come out and say it, because right now they're putting a lot of businesses at disadvantages by not telling people either way. So it's like, you know, you take a risk in one direction, or you sit on the sidelines, you don't get nothing, you know. Yeah. But, you know, as you said, you know, she said it isn't subject to regulation by the U.S. and central bank. That's clean, cut, clear. So the fact that they're even trying to tax it this season, again, is why we told people you might want to wait, because you mess around and give up, you know, 80% of your crypto holdings trying to do the right thing, and then literally 6 to 8 months later, like, well, actually, you know, we only want 10% or nothing at all.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
So I don't know. But I don't get her play. The other side of the piece might be central banks saying, hey, it's nothing to worry about, like business as usual, trying not to scare people of different countries. Because if she did say Bitcoin or crypto is the future, I mean, you're talking about mania. I'm not even talking about first world countries, people. Some of the third world, second world countries that's already on the rocks. You're talking about absolute mania to get their hands on it. So for her just to say it's highly speculative, something we shouldn't regulate, I mean, that's a great play by the Fed, the central bank. That's a great play by them, looking at, you know, what it could do worldwide. So.
Oh yeah, and we have somebody asking, okay, you missed the net neutrality part, Myra. Well, net neutrality in simple terms is, if they repeal net neutrality, then you'll have to pay for services like Google, YouTube, Twitter, and it'll be centralized into different, like 3 or 4 companies will basically run the entire internet. So what you want is for them to vote for net neutrality, so that means it's neutral and you can use the internet for whatever you want. And if that happens, then we're just going down a longer road, basically open Pandora's box to more centralization. So
and it's already bad, to be honest. Yeah. It's already bad. The Patriot Act is bad. Trust me. It's so much stuff we don't even know what they're doing right now. But yeah, we don't want to make it any worse.
Oh yeah, yeah. So can't go down that road. And yeah, it was funny too when she was talking about digital currency and crypto. She was very specific to say there's a difference between digital currency and cryptocurrency, which I think was probably the biggest message in that, because what people, you know, they're in now is cryptocurrencies. A digital currency can come that doesn't have the components of cryptography to be able to make you anonymous and things of that nature. They can just be a digital currency. Like, we've seen that before too. So you know, that's one of those things. Going forward, it's just a gray area. You just got to operate within those lines.
Yeah, it's a fun time. Yeah, it's a fun time. People, like you said, lines keep getting redrawn, but I think it's a life lesson. Yeah, yes, everything created by people can be changed. So, Dino the Data. We have somebody new. We have another one that escaped. We need to bring him back to the park. Yep. Who is this foreign person?
Oh yeah, well, the dino of the day is an entire bank.
We're giving it to a whole. Okay.
Yeah, we're gonna give it to a whole institution.
All right.
Deutsche Bank. If you've ever heard of them, they're a pretty big bank. They were, you know, they do their thing, but they've come out and said that they did a report, and the entire cryptocurrency market is propped up by Japanese forex traders.
Oh my goodness.
And it's one of those things that, yeah, we'll get to that in a second about the Israeli PM. But it's one of those things where it's another bank who was trying to find a way to say that, you know, all this growth that's happened in the cryptocurrency market, it happened without us. There's got to be a reason. And if it's being propped up price-wise, we always say, you know, Bitcoin corrections are corrections, whatever. But the tech isn't going away. So, you know, Deutsche Bank, they've had their own problems. But they've come out and said it's propped up by straight Japanese. That's the only thing holding the price up.
Nobody in America 40% is buying it.
Yeah, exactly. 40% of the market is propped up by the Japanese. So that was their sentiment on the Bitcoin market, and unfortunately, we keep hearing this stuff. Yeah.
Watch it.
So let's go ahead and hit them with that.
Yeah, I ain't got a speaker, but I got a little bit. There we go. All we need is a little. There it is.
Give him the roar.
I'll get that speaker next time. You're right. Give him the roar.
Oh, yeah.
Hey, there we go. Give him the roar. Yeah. So you all know I can't pronounce that bank. Neither do I care to, because it doesn't sound like they'll be here for much longer anyway. But I mean, hey, it's a new contender every day. It goes to show that if you weren't, listening to other, folks on Twitter who know about crypto or YouTubers and stuff, then this would be the only news you're getting, which is, most people, most traditional people are only getting this mainstream news, and this is what they're being fed on a daily basis. It's irrelevant. It doesn't matter. Ignore it. It's criminals. And then it's like, but is that 17K? Like, what are you talking about?
Yeah. And it's, I mean, it's been a long road from, the Silk Road days and Mt. Gox days. But like I've always said, I use the same statement, banks are going to eat themselves because all they know is reactionary. When something happens, they react to it. Something happens, they react to it. And by the time they, I guess, wrap their head around the fact that there are millions of people who are ready to exit the system they created, it'll be too late. People have already have the apps in place, they have the infrastructure, and that's basically, when you combine the Federal Reserve may not, they may be lying, look into cryptocurrencies, plus you have people like Deutsche Bank going against it means we're still bullish to me, because if they start liking it too much, that's when I think it's a problem. When they're like,
and Antonio, I saw you say the only thing we have to worry about is tethers and scalability. I won't even say tethers, because worst case scenario, tethers, if it did drop the price, if they allegedly something's wrong with it, there's gonna be so many people that buy it up low. I mean, it'll shake out some weak hands for maybe about six to 8 months tops before that price will start skyrocketing. But the scaling issue, of course, that's something. Yeah, you're right. We do got work to that.
Yeah.
Israeli Prime Minister came out. Benjamin Netanyahu. Forgive me if I mispronounced that. Pardon me. Claimed that the operation of the traditional banks will eventually become obsolete and could be replaced by Bitcoin. You can see that on YouTube when you just kind of casually saying it around a bunch of other, I'm assuming, prime ministers and powerful electics in that. I just made that word up.
Hey.
That's what happens live.
Power electics.
The electics and the other politicians around him. It's translations on the YouTube there. But yeah, he basically he came out and said he doesn't know when or how it's gonna happen, but this is the road.
He sees the writing on the wall. Hey, he sees the writing on the wall. First people go against it, and then they gotta join, get down and lay down. And I think a lot of leaders such as him, once they see the writing on the wall, they just come out and say it, and they just plan for the future. So
YouTube
to him, definitely a good thing for Bitcoin, because that's what a lot of people I think are seeing now is, banks as a infrastructure is just old. If you think about going into a building to ask somebody for your money to receive some of it, or if you get too much to get questioned for it, and when you go through the whole process, you start seeing like, man, this is so outdated, and I think leaders are starting to see it, so that's a good sign.
Well, just what you said, the last statement I really want to piggyback on, because I think one of the most important things, in my opinion, is that it is now in the politicians' offices. It's now, it's now on the House floor, on the Parliament floor. It used to be they wouldn't even acknowledge it. Like you said, they really ignored it. Then they heard about it and through the whole criminal campaign at it. That didn't work. And now, just like we saw with the banks about 6 or 7 months ago, where literally most banks were like anti-crypto in general, at least publicly. But about 5, 6 months ago, you finally start seeing banks switching sides, and then you saw the stories come out: is Wall Street divided? Is Wall Street split? So now I think we're heading that direction where we're going to see the politicians go in that. Because listen, you are crazy. You don't think there's politicians out there. I know we got the Rand Pauls, but you are crazy. You don't think there's a good amount of politicians doing something in crypto right now, making money.
There's about 4 or 5 that accept cryptocurrency for political donations.
But I mean, those are the public ones. I'm just on the private, like with my personal portfolio. You're not in this right now. So it was only so long before we're going to start seeing those news stories. Is Capitol Hill cut in half over this crypto issue? And that's when that price is going to keep pumping people. That's when you're going to see that flash, or the network's clogged, I can't buy. All that's going to happen. Remember when I said that?
Bitcoin J, how dare you ask for your money? I know, right? That's crazy.
Here's a big story we've been following since we started the show. We've been following because it's kind of big to us. It actually goes back to what you said about Albrick, Silk Road, and the and Mt. Gox when they got closed down, bankruptcy, or all the Bitcoins, whatever happened to them. But we have been following Alexander Vinnik, Vinnik, who was detained in Greece by U.S. authorities' permission to Greece to detain him. Apparently, he allegedly owned BTCE, where they laundered billions of dollars in Bitcoin.
$4 billion?
Yeah, $4 billion from the Mt. Gox. If you see some of our older videos, you know this is like a long story / conspiracy theory somewhat, but definitely a story with the factual part as well. But anyway, we said we was going to keep reporting on this. The important thing is now a Greek court has given approval for the extradition of the alleged Bitcoin money launderer Alexander Finnick to the U.S. So, brief backstory was Russia and the U.S. have been fighting to get him extradited to their country.
Yep.
He is of Russian descent. And again, that's where the kind of conspiracy part came up. It's like this was playing on a larger scale in other parts. But the fact that the Greek court said he can come to the U.S. now, I think is one more person that stands in his way of coming to the U.S. So,
yeah, because they because they confiscated $4 billion worth of Bitcoin before.
I was $4 billion then too.
Yeah, that was $4 billion then.
Yeah.
So you got
like
think,
what?
It was at
$400. 4,000.
Yeah, it was a little. Yeah, because it was right.
Oh,
before,
they still counted as
before August 1st.
All right, I know they counted at 4,000.
Yeah, it was right before Bcash. So
yeah, so $4 billion at $4,000.
Yeah, who knows
Bitcoin.
How much, yeah, who knows how much it is now? But yeah. So I mean, we've seen them go from it's finding your country to now they're extraditing people out of countries to the U.S. to
right again. It's like no one said the U.S. when it comes to crypto. Hey, we here. I love it here, but the U.S. is not the it's not the authority on crypto. No country is the authority on crypto.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
So that was it's very interesting. We will see what happens to him. Let's see. And last thing, but kind of big because it's a running joke we have at least every now and then. But a man stole 1.8 million in Ether after an armed robbery. Prosecutors say it's kind of New York, Jersey area. He basically kidnapped a guy at gunpoint, somebody he knew, I'm assuming, and robbed him for his Ether.
Yeah. 1.8 million. Woo.
Yeah, that is a lot.
And he had it all in one place. Woo. Yeah, that's what you don't want to do. Take a lesson from that. Definitely spread out your crypto in different wallets, different hardware devices. So that type of stuff is harder to happen to you, and don't get kidnapped or snatched up because that's basically
don't get kidnapped.
I mean, other than protecting yourself.
People, I was about to say, look, this is the truth. Next year, people gonna start pulling up on people for crypto. All right, like you need to be prepared for the worst. If you,
always be prepared.
Always be prepared to defend yourself. But definitely, if you got $2 million in Ether, you didn't tell somebody about it.
Yeah, nobody should know. Yeah.
But yeah, we'll see what happens.
Oh yeah.
Let's look at a couple of these quick comments. Oh, by the way, today is the meetup in LA. It is at the Belmont near WeHo, Beverly Hills, off La Cienega and Melrose area. And we got that posted on Twitter and everything. It's gonna be from 6 p.m. to 7 p.m.
Yep.
Come on out, talk some crypto. Let's see. Anything else going on?
Come grab a drink with us.
Free Bitcoin
6 to 7. Yeah, for the free Bitcoin today. Let's see. If net neutrality is repealed and they start charging for Twitter, how much do you think they would charge monthly for Twitter? Because I think this is a question that's good because a lot of people use it, I know in the crypto space, a lot of information gets passed around. So, the final vote, let's see, it's repealed. All right, yeah, we'll talk about that. But how much do you think Twitter will cost per month? Put how much? Put the public address, and we'll send that free Bitcoin to you. Love to see different comments about it. And let's see. Yeah, and the fees have definitely been a lot higher. I use a wallet that is a little bit lower, Airbits, but yeah, definitely those fees are killing right now. So it's all good though.
Oh yeah. So I'll just answer a few of these. Hold on, I'll go through. Yeah, we really don't talk price. For some people ask prices and pumps and stuff, especially right now. I mean, it's the top, but you never know.
Airbits, with a Z. Airbits with a Z.
James, you said you're surprised we don't talk about EOS much. I mean, we don't talk about any specific coin that much.
Yeah, we've done a bunch of altcoins we buy, and like I said, we've held off on it because, like I said, when it comes to the altcoin space, telling people to buy it one day and then it goes up and then it falls, people are like, well, what happened with the price? So do your own research on that. We present the ones with good tech because long term, that is what you want to look for, the ones with good tech. And,
And now, yeah, some of you all be on here shilling y'all coins.
Yeah,
I think we don't know.
Yeah. We gave you a chance.
You don't think we don't know how the game go when we look at some.
We gave you a chance to shill us some of those coins under the video a couple days ago. So
okay, let me see. We had a couple of good quick comments.
As long as it ain't somebody trying to send us smart cash. But also too, I wanted to answer the guy. He gave a comment. And this is just kind of a lesson for some of the newer people. I don't know if he was joking, but he asked, he bought Cardano at 13 cents. He asked, should he sell it at 14 cents? Look, people, stop. If that's a joke, then fine, it's funny. But if it's not, if you really were considering that, please don't panic on these altcoins. I know a few people are like, well, if I trade it now and get rid of it, I can take that profit and go. And it's like, at least hold it a year. You shouldn't buy anything.
CRYPTO.
Oh yeah, you shouldn't buy anything you're not looking to hold at least a year. So yeah, that's a real comment under yesterday's video. So to that guy, no, hold it, man. You know, at least give it 6 months at least. But
and then if you're still talking in dollars and cents, you probably don't want to be trading that much anyway right now.
Yeah,
it's just you understand soon.
Yeah,
Satoshis. The Naval Post. Matt. So Matt came and joined the stream today. Welcome, Matt. He said the Naval Postgraduate School did a math research mini thesis on crypto last month. The conclusion was that Bitcoin will continue to grow as long as real instability continues. Historically speaking, real peace isn't typical. Yeah, that's what we think.
Yeah. Have you seen the reports in Venezuela? There are people who are, like we've said a million times, that's the only way they can survive is with Bitcoin. So for those of you who are like, well, what can I buy? What can I use for it? And it's like, you're focusing on a first world problem. Like first world is so good, all you can think about is what can I buy with it? There are people who using Bitcoin in second and third world countries who are like, I need to eat tomorrow. I need to figure out a way. And yeah, the mining in Venezuela, they used to get arrested, but now they're actually pushing for them to sign up or to regulate the miners, where if you have a mining thing, you have to actually get taxed for it. So they're actually moving from just throw you in jail to actually trying to regulate it, because they need. I mean, when you need money, when economies fail, like that report says, hey, it's a good hedge against fiat currency.
They asked, have our fees been higher than the free Bitcoin we're sending?
For a couple of them,
cases, yes.
A couple of them, yeah, absolutely.
And that's how much we care, people. We still have given out the free Bitcoin when it made no sense.
Yeah.
But we just traded that day hard.
Oh yeah.
So, and then last one I saw that was good. Benjamin Judah said, "Do we invest in ICOs?" So we used to until the U.S. regulated.
Yeah.
So no, in general, not only that, right now the ICO space has been convoluted, to say the least, and when you're spending just as much time as doing due diligence on the company as just trying to figure out if it's a scam or not, it's not as worth it.
Yeah.
In my opinion.
Yeah.
But when we see good ideas come along, we'll look at it to figure out when they get released and everything and how to go about that way. But for those people who still did, you could use your VPNs. But that's for people.
Yeah, do it. Yeah, if you want to, you can do it.
Yeah.
But good luck.
Yeah, we don't do it. We just leave it alone for now. The market's doing good. There's no reason to. Bitcoin's been pumping. I mean, Bitcoin's at what, 16,000, 17,000 right now, people. Like, we already made it, as far as just community of making this as a worldwide phenomenon. Now we're taking it to the next stage, of course, but it's been a good year already. It came from $1,000 at the beginning of the year, $960. So
yeah. Oh yeah.
It's been a crazy year.
Absolutely.
And it's December. This year is almost over.
I know, right?
All right. So you got the free Bitcoin. Put those in quotes, people. Make sure you follow us at Kirby Crypto, Twitter, YouTube, Facebook. I'll write it down as well. Yeah, I'll write it down here. And then if you're in LA, of course, tonight, LA surrounding area, come see us tonight at the Belmont from 6 to 7 p.m.
Oh, yeah. Right. Meet us out there. Come grab a beer or a water or whatever you drink.
Right.
And join us. So
you might hear Zay crack some jokes.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
All right. Have a good one now.
Have a good one.